It should be working. What the Hey everyone and welcome back to K-Moon. So today we're gonna be attempting to make a Flappy Bird in the shortest time possible. Nothing crazy, there will be no menu as it is not necessary in this challenge. I hope I make it short, wish me luck. Three, two, one. Okay. So first of all we need to load the game assets by simply searching them. Look for transparent background photo. That looks good. This one does. Download it. Then import it to Unity. Come on Unity. There we go. Need to make sure it is set to multiple. Apply. And we're only thinking what we need from here. The background, the ground, the pipes, and of course the Flappy Bird. Trying to do those fast. We hit apply. Whew, okay, only 30 seconds, I'm already stressed out. Let's take out the background. Now I have to change the scale and set it to 9:16, which is the scale used on mobile devices. There you go. Now let's size it up to match the scale and grab the game panel so it is more clear, see what's going on. Okay, now we're gonna name it to background. Now let's drag the ground, scale it up a bit to 4 maybe? Yeah, that will work. Let's place it correctly. Yeah, change it to ground. Okay, the same thing with the pipes. Maybe we'll do 3.5 this time. Yeah, that will work. Let's duplicate it and do 180 degrees. We have to make an empty game object to contain those two pipes. Let me just align them. Yep, there we go. Layer 2 will be for the ground and layer 1 for the pipes. Let's make a game object and name it to pipes and put both pipes in there. Very nice, let me just move it to the right. Oh my god, I feel my brain is burning and just setting up took a lot of time. Add a new component and make a new C# script. Let's name it pipe movement. Yeah, that will work. Now we need to make a script to make the pipes move. Come on Visual Studio. Okay, let's get rid of start function. Public float speed set as 2 and do fixed update instead of update. Transform.translate so we can move our game object to any direction we need and we have it smooth because of the fixed update function. New vector. No, what I'm doing. Vector dot left so we can have the pipes move to the left, multiplied by speed and time.tilde time. And that's for no crazy speed as it is close to 0. Okay, that should be good. Let's head back to Unity. Come on. Let's hit play and test this out. Okay, it's working nice. We don't have to waste any more time. Now what's next? What's next? We have to make the pipes generate randomly in the y-axis, while I think keeping the x-axis still. Oh, my brain can't keep up with this. Let's make a new C# script and name it to spawner or spawn pipe. We should be good to go. Now we have to keep track of the timer. So let's make a public float and name it to time between spawn, which is going to be the variable that updates every frame. We make another public float and name it to start time to play the road like a time resetter. And of course we have to call the game object, call it pipes. I think we don't need the start function. Let's just jump ahead to updates. First of all, we change it to fixed update. So we want this to update only if time between spawn is less or equal to 0, and if it does, we want it to generate a random number. So float rand equals to random.range. Let's fix this misspell. And back to Unity, we're going to use the random float to generate the Y position. I'm going to set them manually, so let me just speed this up a bit. Alright, the range is set. Now we need to instantiate the pipe spawn position, which is going to take as a parameter pipe, new vector 2. Let's set this 0 for now and we fix it later. Rand quaternion.identity. It gives us the default or known value to the object rotation. By setting the rotation of the new object to this value, it ensures that the new object will be in its natural orientation. And of course we have to reset the timer by just referring start time to it, which have the 0 value by default. Else we need to keep subtracting time delta time from time between spawn. Time between spawn minus equal time delta time. And the only thing left is to take the pipe position. We move it a bit to the right and we copy the position. Paste. Everything should be working. Let's try this out. Okay, never mind. I don't know what happened right there. It must work now. It should be working. What the Alright, I think we need to give a value to the time between spawn in the start function. So let's go. Time between spawn equal to start time. And now for sure, I hope this time it should be working. And pew, there we go. Okay, time to set up the bird that is still waiting right here. Let's name it as player and scale it up as well to 4 or anything closer that fits good. And make a new script, name it as player movement. It should be opening faster this time. Oh, I forgot to add the rigid body to the bird, but we will do it later. Let's start with making a public rigid body and let's aim it to RB. And RB is going to get the component of the rigid body 2D in the start function. So RB equals to get component rigid body 2D, open and close parentheses. Now we need the update function to execute only when we need that. So if input get mouse button down 0, in other words, if the click of the mouse get detected. For faster execution, I'm going to work with velocity, so we're gonna need to update the velocity of the player. So it equals to vector 2.up multiplied by, let me just make a new public float and name it speed with a value of 2 maybe. Then we multiply by speed. So let's try this out. Oh, I forgot to add the rigid body and attach the player to the script. So let's do that now. Add the rigid body 2D and we drag the player in place. And let's try this out. Oh yeah, sure, I have to change the layers. Let's make it as 2. And we should be good to go now. I hope. Let's play around with the speed to find the one that suits. Yep, so 5 will work. Let me just put back the pipes and try this out. And it's looking pretty good. But as you can see, nothing happens when you collide with the pipes. We need to fix that. Let's add the tag player to the player. And make a new game object to add the box colliders on it for score counting later. Okay, now let's add the onTrigger2D function which exists in Unity to detect any collision. Let's leave the name by default and we need a condition to the trigger to specify it. So if collision.tag is equal to pipe, so if the player collides with the game object with the pipe tag, we need to add this. We wanted to reload the scene, so for this we need to import another library which is using Unity engine.scene management, otherwise it won't work. So management, and now we can do scene manager.load scene, or you can use the get active scene attribute, the index 0. Now let's go back to Unity, click files, project settings, add open scenes so we can have the 0 index in our current scene. Oh god. Already 12.5 minutes in. We need to add the box collider to the player. Let's try this out. Oops. We have to make the box collider is trigger. And add the box collider to the ground. Let's give it a pipe tag so it resets. Everything should be working fine now. Let's try this. And there we go. On the player touch the ground or the pipe, the game resets. That's what we needed. Now moving up to add the score panel. We add the score tag to the game object that we already made. Score. So we need to add another condition to the collision between the player and the space between the two pipes. So for that, if collision.tag is equal to score, let's go back to Unity, make an UI element text. So right click, UI text, we change the name to score and value to 0, and we make it in the middle in the vertical and horizontal axis, and maybe 30 as a font size. That looks good. Okay. I think that's it. We'll go back to Visual Studio. Make a public text. Name it score, and we have to import another library, which is Unity Engine.ui. Now we need to keep track of the score, so we make a public int for counting the score. Name it to score as well, change that to lowercase. Score ++ and score.text is equal to score.toString. So it converts the integer to a string that we can use in our UI element. Let's try this out, and as always I forget to attach the game object, but I think we're almost done. Let's drag the scores text and place it in place. And finally everything is working correctly. It took about 50 minutes, which is not bad at all. It was a fun challenge. I just feel that my brain cells are burning and need a rest. I want to thank you for watching, and I wish you have a great day. Stay tuned for more videos further, and if you guys have any suggestions, please let me know. That's it for today. Peace out.